ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I am your host, as always, Richard Team, and this is the award-winning Fan Show. Thank you all for joining me. It has been a fun week here, the first week since winning the award Throwback Thursday, being awarded Best Media by you, the voters, the people of Fan Nation, for Spokane Entrepreneurship's Best Media. And don't think that I've forgotten, because I haven't. I love you guys so much. It has been great to have this be, the starting point of what I consider a new chapter. I mean, it's still the same show and the best football and nonsense that you can hear on the radio waves or in podcast form. But it's just been a very uplifting feeling to know. I think for anyone, anyone can really relate to this as far as your hard work, your passion, and your no quit being recognized and acknowledged, and that's what that award means to me. Tonight is the last one of the week. It is the last one before the Fan Show Tour 2018, and most of all, it is the last one before the IFL Kickoff 2018. Tomorrow, of course, first game, Cedar Rapids Titans versus Nebraska Danger. We've been talking about that game all week. I'll give my final thoughts on that, as well as the game that I will not be in attendance for on Sunday, which will be the Iowa Barnstormers taking on the Green Bay Blizzard. We've had a few players from both teams on to talk about how they feel about the weekend and the season finally getting started. And then, of course, the big one, 2017 United Bowl rematch between the Sioux Falls Storm and the Arizona Rattlers. I will be there. It is the first stop on the Fan Show Tour 2018. Last year I was there for the season kickoff, so the equivalent of the Cedar Rapids Nebraska game. This year I was there to see Nebraska take on the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles, who were the fan-run team founded by Fanchise, and well, we all know how that went. But nonetheless, it's a new year, new opportunities. Very excited to be traveling again, and of course, I thank you guys for all the love and support during this journey. But we got a great episode for you tonight. Started a few minutes late, so we're going to get right into it because I have not one but two special guests. First up will be Arkeith Brown. You may remember him from last year. He was part of that championship Arizona Rattler team. He is returning this year. He was the one that received the Fan Show Player of the Game, the only belt that I've given away to someone that was a personalized custom belt for that occasion. And we'll see if he's going to wear it during his entrance for the opener that I will be attendance at this Sunday. Talk to him about what this game means as far as the rematch of last year's championship, and to have this game be at home. They did not play Sioux Falls at home at all last year. There were two matchups, regular season and the championship. Both were in Sioux Falls. Now Sioux Falls will come to Arizona, and I expect the attendance to be, pretty high. I think it should be a great game, great attendance, great crowd, great fans. Very excited. And then the second guest will be Sean Daniels of the Green Bay Blizzard. We'll talk one more time about that matchup and how he went from the Philadelphia Soul to now the Green Bay Blizzard, and his plans for football, and how he's taking sort of a different path in the game. And we'll touch on that a little bit. But as far as the headlines go, not really anything came across my phone today. I was on the lookout for anything that we may need to touch on, but as I mentioned, it was something that, it just didn't happen, and that's fine. That's whatever. It's going to be slow days in the media, and I'm okay with that. I have no quarrels with that, no qualms. There's free agency watch, of course, right now. Adam Vinatieri has signed a 1-year deal. And that 1-year deal with the Colts is worth $3.6 million, $1 million to sign, and $2.6 base salary. So good on him. And let's see here. Adam Vinatieri will need only 58 points this season to pass Morton Anderson for the most points in NFL history. Wow. Crazy. How about that? That's autumn. That's autumn. That's awesome. That is awesome. That will start in autumn. And that was really the only news that happened today. So like I said, very excited for the official kickoff of the season, of the tour, everything. This is the busy season for me. I love it. And I think it's been a lot of fun. So don't forget, you guys are more than welcome to listen to the podcast, iTunes, and SoundCloud. I got that issue fixed. I need to put up the missing episodes from when there was an issue. Apparently changing your password causes all kinds of problems. But we got it fixed. So this episode and last night's both will be available. One will be later on. iTunes, SoundCloud, and of course iHeartRadio. Replays on WBLZ Sports, and you can listen live on thefanshow.com or right here on Spreaker.com. Don't forget, you guys, there is a chat on Spreaker. If you're able to listen live, you can chat, chime in, say whatever you want, comment, emoji. I don't care. Do something. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, Arkeith Brown of the Arizona Rattlers right after this.
This is The Sheet.
Gets me all revved up. My face is now red. My ears are just freaking boiling.
He's so raw that Scott hates him.
Yeah, he had 51 touchdowns, 4,900 total yards.
I know y'all like that, but I got to run. And only in Alabama that could happen, I have to say.
They're so good, man. They would win the Big Ten if they were in the Big Ten.
You could be doing something vision-based in front of you and reach down and grab a handful of insane goodness.
Give it to him. Kudos. I'm clapping like a golfer. Very good, Johnny. I'm proud of you.
Wow, you guys agree on something again? I'm very impressed. You ever had a bad week? You walk outside, step in a puddle, like right when you walk outside. I mean, how does a puddle right outside your house? Or you stand on the curb and somebody drives by and splashes water up on you? Or it's just raining on you, not anyone else?
I will tell you, before you go any further, I cannot hear Chad when he speaks.
Good. Here, listen to the sheet, man. I don't really know what we're doing.
Every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on WBLZ Sports.
Whether it be your industrial, commercial, or residential needs, Gen Service is the electrical contractor for you. The Gen Service team has the expertise, commitment, and educational years to help you solve all your electrical concerns. They have you in their best interest with helpful suggestions to accommodate your every want. Give them a call, no matter the size of the job, at 740-438-7173. Mention WBLZ Sports, and you'll get a discount. That's Gen Service, 740-438-7173.
This is Nick Ciccarelli, the mad scientist of sports. Join me and Dr. D, Derek Jones, live every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, for the Mad Scientist Sports Lab. The big intellect, the experiments on the chalkboard, and the guest subjects will be rolling in. Mad Scientist Sports Lab, only on WBLZ Sports, where we got balls.
Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. He has over 30 years of painting experience. He's interior, exterior, commercial, or residential. Doug Peffer covers it all. Is your house looking ugh? We'll call on Doug. Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. 404-966-3361. Mention WBLZ Sports and get a special We've Got Balls discount. That's Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. 404-966-3361.
Check out Thursday Night Tailgate, where NFL legends live on. We bring you 5 NFL legends every week, sharing their stories and insights, plus our spotlight on the positive. Hear which players are doing great things in their communities. Now on WBLZ Sports Talk Radio and WBLZSports.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and with me is the only other man that has a custom fan show belt. He was the recipient of it in last year's United Bowl, the 2017 United Bowl Player of the Game, Arizona's own Arkeith Brown. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm doing well. How you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, man. You keeping that belt nice and shiny?
Sure am. I got it in the case back home.
Oh, you got it in a case back home, so you're not going to be wearing it out during your entrance this weekend, huh?
No, sir, not this week.
All right, man. Well, hey, I was wondering which one you were going to do with it, if you were going to wear it around every chance you got or put it in a nice case somewhere. So at least it's got a good place at home. But you guys, you're not the kickoff. The kickoff's tomorrow, Cedar Rapids, Nebraska, and you guys are at home. This would be the first time that you've played Sioux Falls at home, which you had to play them twice on the road, including the championship last year. What's the mentality been like going into this week and knowing, the kind of reception you guys will probably get being the reigning defending champions?
Well, we came in this season, just trying to have another great season. So in camp, we just went in there trying to be more physical. So we're just happy and ready for the upcoming year. Last year was our first year in the IFL, so we were just trying to get a feel for everything, and now we pretty much got a feel for it. So we're just ready to roll for a new upcoming year.
Yeah, you guys have had some turnover. All the teams have, and you guys have held some key players through from last season to this season, including yourself. But the quarterback position, I mean, you guys were championship team last year. Cody Sokol, he's going to go and play over in Japan this year. But you guys went and got Verlin Reed, who, in my opinion, was one of the top candidates for Rookie of the Year last year. What's it been like to see him out there playing?
He's been doing pretty good through our camp and up to now. So, Coach Guy's still working with him, just getting him used to the play calling and our playbook. But so far, he's been looking really good in camp.
That's excellent. Have you had a chance to pick him off in training camp yet?
Yes, I picked him off a couple times.
That's awesome. Now, as I understand it, you guys in Arizona, you have all your practices outdoors, right?
Yes, sir. We practice outdoor.
And from what I understand, that's for conditioning purposes?
Yes, sir, because, it's hot down here, and, the hotter you get, the more you want to shut down. So when it comes to the game and you get hot and bothered, you can play through it.
So clearly, Coach Kevin Guy, he knows what he's doing. And I had this conversation on the show last night that I don't know where you could rank him all-time football coaches as far as, across college and NFL, but as far as the indoor game, either labeled indoor or arena, he's got to be one of the best out there, and you guys are lucky to have him. But there's a method to everything that he does, and for you guys to practice outside and have that kind of conditioning in the Arizona heat, I mean, you won a championship last year, so would you say that this is something that gives you guys an edge that maybe other teams should try and do if they have the opportunity?
Yes, I believe so. Coach Guy's a really smart coach. If it's something he can't figure it out, you give him time, he will figure it out.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's the king of coach talk. He'll give you the answer that you need to hear at any post-game press conference. But what's your favorite thing about Coach Guy?
Like I said, Coach Guy's a smart coach. He talks to his players. He listens to his players, and his doors are always open for his players on the field and off the field. So he's a player's coach.
Yeah, for sure. That's a word that or a phrase that gets thrown around a lot in this league is a guy who's the player's coach. What is it that he does kind of, I guess, off the field or out of the office that really resonates with you guys, or maybe even just you specifically as a player, that means more to you than previous experiences?
I can pick up the phone and call him, or I can pick up the phone and call him anytime, and he'll pick up, or I can go to his office if I need to talk or anything like that. He always has a open door policy for me and for the other teams, and I think that's a really big thing to have when you have players and young players that may need help or may need somebody to talk to.
Well, as far as this season goes, clearly a bar has been set. Your guys' first time in the league, you go and you win a championship. Not only that, but you ended the streak of the Sioux Falls Storm, who you guys will host at home to start off the season. But when it comes to a game like this, obviously, and I've had this conversation all week as we get ready for the season, you want to start the season off on the right note, but yet a lot of players will tell you that, you learn more from a loss than you do a win, and if you lose early, you have plenty of time to adjust that. But Sioux Falls is going to be out for revenge, and they're going to look to, beat you guys at home like you did to them in their arena last year for the title. But what would a win or loss mean for you guys starting this season out this year? Or does it really even matter much to you guys, it being game one?
Well, it'll be nice to win, to start off the season right. But we normally just focus on ourselves. It's just the first game. We got a long season, so we're just gonna focus on ourselves and win or loss. We're just gonna build from that and hopefully finish out the season on top.
What's been the message from Coach Guy to you guys this week, getting ready for this home opener?
That this is a new team. This is not last year's team. So no matter the highs or the lows, everybody just stay together because it's a long season.
How long do you see yourself playing in the indoor game?
I've been blessed to be able to play this long, so hopefully I'll be able to play at least 2 or 3 more years, if God sees it.
Have you thought about much as far as life after football for yourself?
Yeah, I like being around little kids, so I probably want to be a coach, to take what I've learned in the game and transition to a little kid and help them build themselves.
Now, Arizona is a great sports market, great opportunity for stuff like that, but you mentioned back home. Where would you rather do it, and where is back home for you?
Texas is back home, and I kind of, I miss my family, so I probably would end up, going back home to be around my family and being closer to my family.
All righty. Well, as far as Coach Kevin Guy goes, we talked about how, he's one of the all-time greats for the indoor game, but if you had to compare him across the board to the ranks of college and the NFL, who do you think he is most comparable to, and where do you think he maybe would rank all time as far as just his game planning, his culture, and his coaching style, all the important things that a winning coach needs to have, which obviously he is?
That's a good one. I really can't compare Coach Guy to any other coach because, Coach Guy is a smart coach and he's always thinking and figure out new things to do. And he's just a great man in himself. I really couldn't compare him to any other coach.
And as far as him ranking amongst the others, you think he's got to be like top 10 professionally?
Yes, sir. I'll put him top 10 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
because he will figure it out. If something's going on, if something's going wrong, he's gonna figure it out real fast.
He really does love it there in Arizona. I know that he appreciates you guys as a squad and the rest of the team. And you guys have, you've got a bar set for this year. You guys are going to go out there against Sioux Falls this Sunday, which I will be there for. So looking forward to seeing you guys again and having a great game. Do you have any expectations for yourself as far as for the season or afterwards? Anything personally you'd like to achieve?
I just want to come out, and be able to help my team, hopefully get to the championship again. But, I just want to come out and, have a healthy season and just, enjoy playing. I enjoy playing. I enjoy waking up every morning, going out to practice with the fellas. And I just enjoy it. So I just want to have a healthy season and be able to help my team.
Yeah, you can never have too many rings as far as when they're championship caliber. Was this the first ring at this level that you got?
No, sir. This is my fourth. I have 3 with the Arizona Rattlers, and then I just got one last year with the Arizona Rattlers, so this is my 4th one.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't remember how long you had been with Arizona, but like I said, you can never have too many rings. You still got a thumb there that you can put one on, so maybe you guys will get that one this year, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, Arkeith, man, I can't wait to see you guys this Sunday. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of what I assume is a very busy week for you down in Arizona. But tell Coach and the rest of the guys I said hello, and I'll see you Sunday. But great, best of luck this weekend, and have a great season.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. You take care.
You too.
All right, that was Arkeith Brown of the Arizona Rattlers giving us his thoughts before the big home opener and season kickoff. And, a lot of the players say similar things about their coaches. I expect that. Coaches they know the answer to pretty much any question, so you kind of have to throw them up. You don't want to ask a stupid question. You don't want to be that guy, trust me. As someone who's in media, nothing frustrates me more than seeing a clip or hearing a clip online of someone asking the dumbest question that I have heard and hearing a response befitting of that dumb question, and yet they're in that press room, credentialed media, probably for that team for the entire season, and I have to blow up someone's email inbox just to get a response for them to tell me we only issue credentials to major media. Okay, well, your major media just brought up the whole Brady and his personal trainer thing to Coach Bill Belichick and made some stupid kids comparison, and this dude's notorious for asking dumb questions. So, hey, I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm sorry that I'm not sorry, but you really need to up your standards when it comes to who you issue credentials to. I know that I have asked the kind of dumb question, but I have not once ever asked something just flat out stupid. I haven't. I've had a lapse in judgment as far as the wording and maybe stumbled over my words, but I ask what I want to know and what I think a fan would want to know. And I think I do pretty well there. So whatever, that's me and my bitterness midway through this episode, and I apologize for getting off topic, but it's just, it's one of those things. It's like, why? Yeah, makes you cringe. But what I was saying, what I was getting at, is that Coach Kevin Guy is that coach that the answers from the players as far as what kind of coach is he will be a little different than the rest, because Coach Guy is a little different from the rest. Like Arkeith said, he'll always figure it out. They did not start off like a championship caliber team last season. They could lose this weekend in the opener. They could get blanked. I mean, they could get shut out, embarrassed, whatever. And I would still say that they are probably the highest probability to go and win it all again, because Kevin Guy will make those adjustments. I want to compare his ability to adjust either in-game or in-season to someone like Bill Belichick. However, he does not conduct himself like a Belichick when it comes to the media or whatever. He will answer your questions. He's not monotone. He's got very southern draw. You guys have heard him before. And he can be fun. If it's after a loss, like he's not in the best of moods, but he's going to answer your questions. And he doesn't make a big deal about it. Straight, cut and dry, right to the point. And I like that about him. And I think that reverberates through into his coaching style. And that's why a lot of players like him. That's why a lot of people like that culture, that team, that presence, foundation he's built down there in Arizona. So he's a little different, and in a good way. And I think that's why he has the best squad that he can assemble down there in Arizona. I'm very excited to see what they can cook up, especially on the offense with Verlin Reed out there at quarterback. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's that game. Sioux Falls versus Arizona. I'm not going to pick a winner for this one. I don't really want to pick a winner for any of the three, just because it's not. I don't want to have a player listen to me and be like, bro, like, really? Like, you picked us to lose by that much? First week of the season, I mean, before the season's even started, can you really make accurate predictions? I saw rankings before I put out my own that had, like, all these different teams ranked in different levels. And I was like, how can you rank something if you haven't even seen them play just yet? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, the season hasn't even started. I don't know how you can rank things that haven't happened yet. So I'm very excited for the rankings to get a good shakeup after this week. I really am. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And with that, then, we are now at the portion of the show where I am going to welcome my second guest of the evening. So don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more of the Fan Show on the official Indoor Football League kickoff preview coming up right after this. You're listening to The Fan Show, your home for all things football and nonsense. My special guest tonight, Farouk. Farouk, welcome.
He's no expert, but here's the thing. Football and nonsense is what he brings. Sports talk with a twist. It's The Fan Show.
Do you know him as Kevin from the League? It is none other than very funny Steve Ranazisi.
99% of the population doesn't know who I am. but the 1% do, they yell and scream inappropriate things at me in public.
Kyle Ray. Kyle, welcome.
And I was like, wow, I think we just saw the whole Super Bowl, Phyllis. It was like that scene in The Simpsons, like, why rent the movie? I just saw the best part.
Funny man Brad Williams.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I flew in just for your podcast. I've heard about this podcast. I've heard it's fantastic.
It's Mac and Farva, but they are my special guests tonight. Steve Lemmy, Kevin Heffernan.
I was in Mexico for 10 weeks in a Speedo. Like, that was me going to work. I was putting on a Speedo. Farva is the most fun to play, and it was a blast to do that again, to do Farva again. So then the makeup artist had to put Vaseline on your body, right? Yeah. And then put the powdered sugar on top of that. Is your name really Richard Siemens?
Listen live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night on Spreaker.com, or subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with my second guest of the evening. It is Sean Daniels, who you may remember from last year after his big championship win for the Philadelphia Soul. Sean, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Excellent. So you're in Green Bay, Wisconsin now, huh?
Yes.
And I didn't get a chance to read it, but there was an article talking about how you're taking sort of a different path in football. What were some of the highlights about that?
You know, it was just a little article on basically what brought me out here to Green Bay and, you know, just the different opportunities that the IFL could present. And, you know, working under Coach Williams, you know, he has a lot of pull with a lot of NFL coaches. And, you know, he's getting guys workouts left and right. And, you know, I'm just trying to take a different approach to this because I'm trying to find my way up to the next level.
Yeah, now I'm not one to throw any shade or dig up any dirt, but I do know that there was some uncertainty going on with the AFL in the offseason. Did any of that factor into your decision to go and join up with Green Bay and Coach Williams this season?
No, not at all, actually. What a lot of people don't know is that my main decision for doing this is because my girlfriend and I, we are having a daughter together. She's due June 1st. So, you know, with that being said, I didn't want to be in Philadelphia, 600 miles away from my newborn and, you know, away from my girlfriend and my daughter. So, you know, I decided to come out here where she's from, where her family is and where my family is, and continue to play football through the blizzard and, you know, raise my daughter at the same time.
Hey, man, I get it. You know, I'm not even a parent, and I can respect that. And, you know, that's you got to do what's best for you and the fam. So, hey, right on, man, and congratulations on the upcoming baby. Hopefully it's not you know, right in time for game time. Most athlete babies can usually wait till before or after the game. So
I'm sure she'll hold out until after game day.
Well, as far as your time in Philly, you had a great tenure there. You won a championship, and you know, the Eagles, they brought the first Super Bowl to Philadelphia. As a former member of the Soul, have you talked to any of the guys? Like, are you kind of on this whole like, well, we did it first kind of thing?
No, I actually I know guys throughout the league, but I actually don't have anybody with the Philadelphia Eagles, to be honest with you. I don't have any old college roommates or friends on that team, but, you know, we can say we did it first. You know, we can say we kept the championship spirit alive in Philly, but, you know, that Lombardi, that's something different, man. That holds a different weight, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm just happy that the city closest home the closest city that I get to call home has now tasted that championship, and I hope they never look back. I hope Philadelphia sports become completely dominant because from what I'm hearing back home, I don't really follow basketball too much, but apparently the Sixers look really well, and, you know, I just hope that championship mentality can stay in the city, you know? Well, it's been a long time.
You can forever say that it all started with you guys, you know?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'll never, you know, I'll let them have their glory, but secretly they know. They know who kept things afloat while they were in limbo.
Yeah, exactly, man. But no, good for the city of Philly and good for you and the place that is the closest to what you can call home. Now, your decision to go to Green Bay, you said that there was a few things that factored that obviously, you know, it would be hard to talk you out of it. But was there anything that Coach Williams approached you with that like sealed the deal, or was it pretty much just reiterating what you had already gathered as far as joining a team like the Blizzard?
It was pretty much what I said earlier. I mean, it's Coach Williams. Him and I have known each other for about maybe 2-3 years now, and he knew that I had my little, I had a good year in the AFL, and he knew I was probably going to be in Philly again. So it's not like he recruited me because I contacted him. I mean, it was a thing where I reached out to him saying, listen, I'm going to be around for a while now, and I still want to play football. And he was like, wow, this is great. We would be more than happy to have you. We would love to have you. But now that it was kind of like now that you're with me, this is what I can do for you. So there wasn't much of a selling chip that he had to put on the table. It was more or less me trying to sell myself to him, saying, will you guys have me?
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. You know where you want to go, and you know how you got to get there. Coach Williams is, as everyone has said, a player or a coach of the players. I had the privilege of meeting him twice last year, once in Spokane, and then again when I came to Green Bay, which I will do again this year, so I'm looking forward to that. But, last year, the season didn't go quite the way that people thought it would for the team of Green Bay or for that city, but the fans never faltered, and here we have Chris Williams. He's back. There's a few new faces. There's a lot of key players that stuck around. I've talked to a few of them, and you guys have a great squad there. What's your feeling as one of those new faces going into this new season with the Blizzard?
I feel as though this is the year. I mean, I don't really have too much knowledge on what happened last season, and I guess it's a good thing because, you never want to look back. You always want to keep going forward. But just from what I'm seeing from the guys that I'm on the field with, we have a lot of NFL caliber guys that have played in NFL, like our nose guard Corey Grissom. He was a combine guy, spent time with the Patriots. Has great knowledge of that nose position. We have Josh Francis as our starting linebacker. He was with the Packers, played with them. He's touched NFL field. Played. We have our D-back Manny. He was here last year. He's played with NFL teams. We have a IFL Hall of Famer with us, B.J. Hill. I mean, we just have talent, and that's just the defense. I haven't really dipped into the offense just yet, but that's just the defensive personnel right there. So, we have so much talent and so much potential that we're gonna bring a great package come this Sunday against Iowa.
Yeah, and that is the game that I have as kind of the sleeper to be a really entertaining, really good game. There's a great rivalry there. I think that's going to carry over from seasons past, but last year especially because Coach Wooten and the Barnstormers went on that great run and then to the postseason, and then now that you guys have locked things into place with Green Bay and you have what you want there as far as the coaching staff and now the players in place, I think it's going to be a really exciting season for you guys. What's your favorite thing about Coach Williams? And no, you cannot say that it's because he's a player's coach.
Favorite thing about him? Very easy, very, very easy man to talk to. He's not like some of these coaches where it's everything. Nothing has to go directed towards him. He has people below him that you bring those issues to. He's the kind of guy where if something's not right and you feel something's not good, or things are right and you just want to talk to him about stuff, his door is always open. Now I know there's a lot of coaches around that say my door is always open, and that's just a nice saying that they like to say. But with him, it's actually the truth. You can bring any issue you have with him, and he'll sit and talk to you man to man. He doesn't have that ego of a player coach hierarchy. He respects you as one of his own, and he will talk to you as such. Because when we go out there on that field, we all got to work together. It's not going to be I'm the coach, you're the player. It's we're in this thing together for our common goal, which is obviously a championship, which will lead to people getting back to the NFL or getting to the NFL. And personally, I think he wants us to get to the next level more than we do on our own. So that's what I like about him. He's easy to talk to, and he's just as goal-driven as we are for our own goals.
Yeah, and he is very easy to talk to. I've had him on the show several times. Every time I talk to him, it's like just talking to a buddy of mine, and he's so level-headed, and I just love how personable he is about everything. But he's a great guy. You have a great coach there. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when I do these tours, this is the second one, I travel with this custom championship belt that I watch the game and I pick out the player of the game and they get to sport it for a little bit while I interview them post-game. Last year, Green Bay, Jack Bramswig got the player of the game nod, and he is now with the CFL. So I'm just saying that the players that get this, there are some doors that may open for them that wouldn't otherwise. So...
Well, I'll put it out there right now. Every game you have with that belt, I'll make sure I walk away with it. I promise you that.
Well, the one I'm planning on being at right now is May 5th, your Star Wars night, because Ryan Hobson said, if you're going to come to any game, you got to come to this one because I've been at war with Disney to make sure we can make this thing happen. So do you have a costume picked out for after the game on Star Wars night?
A costume, man. See, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I didn't even think about a costume, man. But sheesh, I don't think so, man. I don't know, because my brother and I went into the whole cosplay thing, but I haven't thought about a costume for that. That's a good idea. I might look into that. Yeah,
I mean, for the post game, you got to run in after the game, come out in just full whatever. If it's Boba Fett or Princess Leia, Slave Leia, I don't care. I just think it'd be awesome if you did.
I think I might try to find a nice BB-8 or R2-D2. That'd be kind of funny. Just roll out there on that.
That is worth the price of admission right there. Oh, Sean, you just made me so happy. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm going to let you get back to it. This is a busy week for you guys, but this is my official IFL kickoff preview, so I thank you so much for taking the time to be part of it. And best of luck this weekend and with this season, my man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You take care.
All right, man. Take it easy.
And once again, that was Sean Daniels of the Green Bay Blizzard. We did it first. I feel like any member of the Philadelphia Soul that was part of either of those teams, because they did it back to back, if they know anyone on the current Eagles roster, I would just be blowing up their phone like, hey man, congrats, so worth it. Like, I cried a little bit, but hey, don't forget, we did it first. Oh, I think that'd be hilarious. And what's ironic about it is that the team is owned by Jaws, right? Former Eagle great. And so the first time he got a ring was with the team that he owns, the Philadelphia Soul. So, I mean, hey, I guess it counts, once an Eagle, always an Eagle, so you can share in that moment. But, yeah, the Soul did it first. Don't forget. People don't forget. But, I had no idea he was a cosplayer. That's awesome. I'm just going to say that right now. As someone who's kind of a comic book nerd and loves to really get into the, gets festive for the event, that's awesome. If he can pull off a costume after that game, that'd be hilarious. Because I've already been told that I don't get to suit up for this game. No. I have to have a Star Wars costume for the Green Bay Star Wars night game that I'll be attending May 5th. So I guess that weekend I don't have to worry about picking out which tie and jacket I want to bring with me. I just got to make sure that I get the right costume that's going to be the easiest to do post-game interviews in. But yes, the Fan Show Player of the Game Championship belt is making a triumphant return this season, as well as a few other features, bells, and whistles that I'm bringing with me this time around. So I'm very excited about it. I think Sean is sold on, what opportunities may present themselves if you are the recipient of this belt at one of the games. But he says every game that I go to for the Blizzard, he's going to be the one that walks away with it. So, I hold the players accountable. I will hold him to that, but that's very optimistic of him. Congratulations to him and the baby girl. That's very exciting stuff, and that'll happen right in the middle, right in the thick of the season. That's going to be great. So hopefully it's not, right during game time. If it's going to happen, hopefully it's after a game, after a win. I mean, how great would that be for him? But congratulations to Sean and his significant other on their upcoming baby girl. And, props to him and him, going to Green Bay to take a different path to trying to get to that next level. I certainly hope he does. Green Bay's got a lot of good folks there. You hear that, Blizzard fans, Cold Front fan club? You guys are awesome. as are you, Snake Pit and Barnstormers and Idiot Section and all you other fans out there. It's Flight Crew. I said Barnstormers, and I was like, wait, I'm forgetting. Yeah, Flight Crew. My home away from home in Des Moines, Iowa. You guys are all awesome. I really do appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. So don't forget to go on Facebook, click that like button, give the show a share. Facebook.com/FanShowOfficial, because the Fan Show is taken by an account that's no longer being used. You can follow me on Twitter at FanShowOfficial, because at the Fan Show is already being taken by an account that's no longer being used. And you can check out the Instagram, simply The Fan Show, because that one was available. The form of social media I use the least. I usually post maybe a picture a day, maybe multiple times a day. It really depends on what I'm doing that day, but there are days that will go by that I don't post a thing, because I'm like, what am I doing? What visually can I give to you on a daily basis on Instagram? So the one form of major social media, like at the top 3, is the one that has the Fan Show as its username, and it's the one that I use the very least. So how ironic. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Twitter still doesn't want to give me a blue check mark. It's whatever. What I think is really funny about things that have happened recently is that there are people that got the blue check mark that I was kind of working with at the time, and then that ended because them getting the blue check mark made them believe that they were head and shoulders above everybody else, except for it didn't. Because in that time, and I'll check in from time to time, or I have people that tell me things that are going on, like, hey, did you see this? No, I don't really care, but it is what it is. So people that have gotten this blue check mark, in that amount of time, I have done so much with this show without it. And I'm kind of sitting here wondering, like, what is it you say you do here on Twitter or really anywhere else? Because it's not making moves. They're kind of growing stale. The opinions of sheep, though. Am I right? Lions don't care about that. Whatever. Stupid people. And then other people that considered themselves my rival, which I don't have. I have people that wish they were at the same level I am, that have accused me of stealing segments and whatever else. I've gotten awfully quiet lately, and I have something on my shelf here in my studio that represents the hard work that I've put into this, which okay. The show is one thing. Me doing this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night like clockwork, like it's my actual full-time job. The communicating that I do week in and week out, setting up interviews, talking to whoever, that's one thing. And there's a lot of people that can do that. The follow-through, maybe not, but I send out so many emails, reach out to so many different people about interviews and whatnot. And there's people that can and will do that, but not necessarily to the extent that I do. And then there's the tour, and there's the events and the specials that I do outside of just the regularly scheduled show. And to that, they don't do shit. And yet they have felt entitled to certain things, like being credentialed media to events like the Draft Combine and or Super Bowl. But I feel like your effort towards something that you want speaks louder than really anything at all. Now, of course, this show I host, produce, direct, all that stuff, every slash you can think of on a business card. And I present myself in this show in a very professional and reliable way. And that's been noticed. I got a phone call the other day from one of the people that were at the Spokane Entrepreneurship Awards. They didn't even win, but yet they came to me and they said, hey, what's your story? Like, tell me about this podcast. And so I gave him the gist of it, which you can hear me and my buddy Cameron from Tuesday's episode reflecting on that. That was good times. I told him how it came about. When I was talking to Cameron, I said that the rebranding is probably what saved the show, because to continue on as the Butt Fumble podcast and have my listens dip as hard as they did when football season started, like that's supposed to be my time of year, I had to do something. And so basically it was where, I said I can either do something or I can call it quits after less than a year. So I rebranded, and that probably saved the show. Came up with a better name, phenomenal logo, courtesy of Brian Gundel. And then since then, I've just kept at it. I really have. I've made some great connections, ones that I either was very persistent about making or ones that were just by happenstance and random. But it's true what I said in my speech a week ago when I received this award that, 4 years ago, I was bartending in some hole-in-the-wall called Usher's Corner in Hilliard. And for those of you who don't know the area, it's a place that you don't want to go to, especially as a bar. And my boss would tell me to wait on cashing my paychecks that were already 3 days late. So I was bartending at a hole-in-the-wall in Hilliard. And then 2 years ago, I was going back to school during that. That's when I decided it was time to go back to school for my AA in business and business management. Then 2 years ago, I was recording hour-long episodes in my attic with no air conditioning during one of the hottest summers we've ever had here in Spokane. And then a year ago, I was interviewing the guys from Super Troopers. And coming up September of this year, it will be a year ago that I interviewed WWE Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. So I don't ever want someone to question my ethic or my determination in this, because I think it shows. I think it's reflected. And I told him this, and he was blown away, very impressed, couldn't believe it. I was the most overdressed person there, suit and tie, and he joked about it, and I said, it's just what I do. I present myself in a manner that I believe is a reflection not only of how hard I work and what I put into this product, but how I believe this product deserves to be presented, and that's professionally and with style, and that's how I do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the last episode of the first week being an award-winning show, I thank you so very much again. You guys are the absolute best, all of you out there in Fan Nation and the flight crew, the Blizzard Cold Front, the Snake Pit, the Idiot Section, the Wolf Pack. All of you guys have been extended members of my family. You really have. I have so many homes away from home. I cannot wait to revisit you this season. I really do. So I know a lot of you out there are listening that are members of the Indoor Football League and the fan base. And you guys, I'm talking right to you. I am, as if we were face to face. Thank you so much. I love you guys to death. So don't forget, you guys can go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Your home base for all things football and nonsense is thefanshow.com. Give me a like on Facebook. Give it a share so that others may enjoy it as well. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Check out the Instagram, because all of these will keep you in the loop and make sure that you're in the know for when I'm coming to a city near you, what's going on with the pregame party, which I believe we are having one for the Rattlers in the Snake Pit at the park before the game. And it's going to be a lot of fun this season. It really is. So, I know it's been a bad off season. I know that there was a lot of things that you guys just wish didn't happen, but did. But we got through it. Kickoff tomorrow. Cedar Rapids versus the Nebraska Danger. And then Sunday you've got Iowa at Green Bay and Sioux Falls at Arizona. And I couldn't be more happy to have my busy season be back. So I'm going to brush off my suitcase, make sure that my suits are ever so nicely pressed, and get ready to get back on the road and get back out there, because I'm ready to visit my extended family out there in the Indoor Football League. And now extending it as far as the National Arena League, which we are going to start touching on as well starting next week. It's all indoor football here on the Fan Show, with the exception of a few specials. I have Charles Wyand, wild, crazy man and comedian, kind of like a crocodile hunter. He's on next Wednesday. That'll be a lot of fun. And then who knows what else the rest of the summer has in store. There's a few things I'm waiting to hear back on, some stuff in the works, as is always the case with the Fan Show, because I believe in reinvesting in your product and never selling yourself short or settling. And so from me to you, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to tell all your friends, spread the love, give it a share or retweet, whatever. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, after the first stop on the Fan Show Tour of 2018, Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners, and remember, of course, it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.